Good morning, fellow YouTubers. This is Kat from An Itty Bitty Homestead, and today I'm bringing you kind of part 2 to the last video, which was dehydrating stuff for making dog food. So I decided to call this dog food topper because that's really all I do. Is I put about a tablespoon on top of the dog's food, mix it in, and it's just a little treat and gives them a little more incentive to eat. Although my two big boys need no incentive. They would eat the bowl if it wasn't metal. Anyway, so what I've got here is what I dehydrated last night. It just finished this morning, so I let it cool, and I let it sit out on the counter for about an hour and let everything cool. So this is the equivalent of 5 pounds of lean ground turkey meat. I don't know how much this was, but this was several chunks of cod fish. Probably about... See, I got them at Sam's Club, so they were probably about that big around. And I think I probably had 6 or 7 of those. And then this is end result cooked 2.5 cups of organic red lentils. So you see it dehydrated down, about half a cup of water was taken out. So, and I'm also going to be putting in my dehydrated peas, some of my home dehydrated spinach, and home dehydrated kale. I am also going to add turmeric, that's really good for your dogs. And I'm going to mix regular bouillon, beef bouillon, with some sodium-free bouillon, just to cut the salt content in this one. And then for their breath, I'm going to add some parsley. And, oh, I gotta go get my carrots. I need to go find my dehydrated carrots. I'll be right back. Okay, so went and got the rest of my ingredients, and I realized, oh my goodness, I'm not canning this like I normally do. It's gonna stay dehydrated until I need it. So, I got my Thrive Life carrots. I just opened this. And I'm actually gonna put in some Thrive Life potato chunks. Why? Because I can. It's gonna stay dry. I researched on Google, and don't know what that was. Kidney beans, they're already cooked. These are organic. And I am going to put in some of my home dehydrated green beans. Now there's a lot of green in here, so I may omit the kale or the spinach. I haven't decided which. I cannot put corn in here because I have my old guy, PJ, who is allergic to corn. So he can't have corn. I got the Pitty, who's allergic to chicken. So, I mean, PJ can have a little bit of corn, but if he gets too much corn, his hair will start to fall out. And poor guy's almost 14, and he really needs to keep his hair. So, all right, now my experiment's going to be portions. What I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to throw everything into one bowl, or parts of everything into one bowl. And basically, I want like 1.5 cups of dry that I will mix with 2 cups of liquid. And it just depends what I happen to have on hand in the RV. Most likely it'll be water, and that's why I'm going to add the bouillon. But it may be broth. You know, if I make myself some soup and I have leftover broth, whatever. I'm going to be putting it into Mylar bags that I've already labeled. I'm going to add a 100 cc oxygen absorber. Yeah, oxygen absorber, not moisture. Okay, so with all that said, let me find my 1/2 cup scoop. So I think I don't have here. Okay, there we go. All right, I think I'm all set. All right, let me get another bowl and mix. Well, I guess I don't need to. I'll just toss it in. All right, let me bring you guys in angle, because then I want you to be able to see the. This is the vacuum seal that I use for the Mylar. Okay, but let me get this out of the way so it's not so blinding. Oh, it's blinding too. Oh goodness. All right, that seems a little better. Okay, so let's start with the turkey. Now, I'm not going to just dump this whole thing in there because, like I said, I'm limited on how many of those smaller Mylar bags I have, but I also want to get some portion control here. So let's do that's 3 cups. You know what? Heck with it. We'll just do it all. So that's, if I was canning it, that's what I would be doing. I'd be doing all 5 pounds, and actually I would be doing 10 pounds. So, all right, so there's all that. Now, the fish. Give the dogs some treats. Now, I don't normally put fish in with the chopper, but thought it would be fun this time. Because they all like fish. Oh, missed my chance to. All right, save the rest of this for some snacks. Okay, now let's put in some carrots. These are my Thrive Life carrots. Take that out. I am not, no, now if you're going to do this, you know, you do what your dogs would like. Now I like my dogs to have a lot of vegetable with some meat, okay? So, with meat, but I am adding other proteins in here. I've got the fish in here. And I'm going to be adding the kidney beans, which let's go ahead and add those now. It's also a really good way to, let's put all that in there. This is a really good way to use up some of your dehydrated stuff that's maybe getting a little old. You know, if it's been opened and you've resealed the jar. I'm going to break up some of this fish. I may have to go out and yell at a dog. He just stands out there and just barks. I mean, it's like whatever it was that was out there that was interesting for the other boys to bark at is long gone, but he's deaf. So he just knows that they were barking. Not completely deaf. He's going deaf, you know, old age deaf. Or maybe he's just ignoring me when I call him. Anyway, all right. So there's that. Now, let's see. Just going to throw that in there. Now, let's add some. Okay, these are the red lentils. This is also another source of protein. That might be enough. I might add the rest of those. We'll see. It's only 2.5 cups. Yeah, you know what? Let's put it all in. I won't, you know, I wouldn't recook those for me anyway. These didn't take nearly as long to cook as the package said to cook them. As it would have been mush. All right. And now when I serve this to my dogs, I do put a little sprinkle of nutritional yeast over the top of their food. I don't necessarily cook it. So I'm debating whether or not I want to go ahead and add it to this ahead of time or not. All right, now let's do some potatoes. I have no measurements for this. I am just winging this. And like I said, if I was cooking this for the dogs and canning it, I would not add the potatoes. And I probably wouldn't add, well, I would add canned kidney beans rinsed. I wouldn't add quite, and I'd add fresh carrots. I mean, it'd be more fresh stuff, but this is pretty dang fresh. And they're going to get the nutrition that, you know, it was raw. It wasn't cooked. I didn't cook out. Well, I take it back. The turkey was cooked. Fish was not cooked. All right, now let's get to our peas. These are from 2017. And I like peas. I used to have a dog, hated peas so much that when I would give him food with peas in it, he would eat every bit of food except for the peas. You ever have a dog that did that? He used to crack me up. I'm not sure I'm going to do the kale. So let me go to the spinach. You know, this is all good for them, right? Oh, heck with it. These are from 2017 as well. May as well just add them all. All right. Okay, wow, that's looking good, doesn't it? I'm going to tell you, this smells delicious. Okay, what did I not add? Okay, let's add some green beans. I do like the green beans. These I just did a couple weeks ago, just before Christmas. So, I need to break these up a little bit. These were, I believe, frozen green beans. Might have been frozen. This might have been part of my project of emptying out my freezer. Yeah, so all right, I'll keep scrunching as I go. Kind of hurt. So, besides the fact that this is going to make a very easy to transport supplement to my dog's daily diet when I'm camping, it also provides me with, if I had no kibble, they could just eat this. I could eat this. So far, there's nothing in here that wouldn't have found its way to my plate at some point in time. Maybe not all at once, but, you know, whatever, right? Now, if I had not added the potatoes, I could have added rice, right? Okay, now let's do, all right, I think the bouillon, I'm going to have to just mix it in something and then just add it to each individual packet. Either that or just make sure I add it if I'm going to add water. Maybe I'm going to do that because I don't see how I'm going to easily get it. All right, so here's some parsley, more green, I know. All right. All right. PJ. Here, buddy. Here, come on. While the big boys are out making noise. You want to taste the fish? Be my taste tester? Come on. Oh, he's so fussy. And there he goes with the fish. Okay, don't let your brothers know, or else I have to give them a piece. Okay. So I think that's everything except for the turmeric, which I think I will, powder's just going to go to the bottom of this bowl. So I think I will open this and put this into a measuring something, and I'll add it to each thing. I'll be right back. Okay, so change my mind again. Got some turmeric out, and I mixed some bouillon. So I'm going to put a half teaspoon in each bag. So each bag, I'm going to open them and put a oxygen absorber in each one. And that's just in case, you know, kind of like a little bit of a backup. It'll extend the shelf life. And I know I'm going to need a lot more bags, but we'll start with these. Okay. All right, now, I think's already. All right, let's see. So, I am going to do a teaspoon of turmeric. Maybe I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of turmeric. This is going to be 2 cups of food. And I'm going to do a half a teaspoon. That's 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And I'm going to do half a teaspoon of bouillon. Because like I said, I can add more when I'm in the RV, or, you know, if I don't normally add bouillon when I cook their food now. And then this is 1 cup. Oh, I'm going to do 1.5 cups of my mix. And we're going to put it on here. Now I'm just going to show you this. We'll do 2 together, and then I'll do the rest and bring you back when I'm all done. Now this one doesn't tell you when it's done vacuuming. You kind of got to do it by eyeball. That's pretty firm. And then you hold this down and the light, oh, you can't see. And the light blinks till it's done heating. Okay, and I got it set for 7 seconds. Slide it out a little bit. Push this down. I'm going to seal it. I always give all my stuff a double seal. Takes a little bit of extra time, but I have a lot less fails. It's not that I don't have fails, I do, but I have less. Okay, unlock it, and there you go. Now I'll probably also hit these with my flat iron, and then I will let them just sit in a box on my counter for a day or 2, just to see. I'm going to make sure none of them open. If they open, I will slit the top and try and reseal them again. Okay, so that's 1. All right, let's go. Let's do this again. Another one. So 1 teaspoon turmeric, generous half teaspoon of bouillon, and then 1.5 cups of food. And this is probably way too big, but when I rehydrate it, it'll last like a week in the fridge, so I'm not really that worried about it. Turn that off, bring the nozzle forward, slip this on, make sure you guys can see. All right, let's just turn that off. There we go, that's better. Okay, make sure it's as flat as you can get it. So you want to put your powders in first so they're down here, okay? Because if you're just doing regular vacuum saver bags, you don't really want it to pull it up into your machine. I've never had a problem with that, no matter really where I put the powder, but you know, it's always better to just put it at the bottom. There he goes again, barking. Ah. Okay. There you go. Another bag. All right, I'm going to finish this up. I'm starting to think maybe 1.5 cups. When this rehydrates, I'm going to assume it's going to almost double. So that'll be 3 cups, and usually these fit in a pint. So I might do some with just a cup. Yeah. Yeah, these weigh nothing. All right, I will bring you guys back when these are all finished. Bagging them all, but I decided to take 1 cup, put everything in here like I would in the bag, Sorry, I got a piece of bacon in my mouth. And add my 2 cups of water. Actually, let me do 1.5 cups. Heating this water up. I just want to see if I need to change anything. Smells good. For me, I'd add some pepper and, you know, some other spices, but let's see how this is going to do. All right, I'll bring it right back as soon as this is heated. Okay, see, it's starting to revive. Peas are getting fuller again, and so are the green beans. Potatoes take a little while longer. The beans take a little longer. Carrots take longer. But everything else really seems to be coming together. Spinach. Yeah, the meat. So while I turned the burner off. I just wanted to get this water hot. So when I'm in my RV, I'll just boil water and, you know, put it in a container. I'm just going to put a lid on it, and I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to go fill some more bags and let this sit for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll come back. Okay, so it's been about 10-15 minutes. This has been sitting. Just put the lid on. As you can see, everything has pretty much rehydrated. Potatoes look pretty good. The carrots look good. Green beans look perfect. Even the once obliterated organic kidney beans look good. So, juice is fine, the liquid, because I like to put a little broth on their food anyway. Plus, this gives me the opportunity, if I'd like to, if I want to make this thicker, I can add some rice to it, instant rice. There's the fish. Hot. Fish hasn't quite rehydrated yet. It's still stiff, but I'm in no hurry, so I will just let this sit. If I was camping, I would do all this and just let it, you know, I'd do it like half an hour before dinner and just let it sit on the stove in a container, or, you know, well, I'm limited on cooking things that I have in the RV, so it's not like my kitchen at home. But there you go. So, that broth looks delicious, doesn't it? All right. Not too much turmeric because it's not too yellow, but it does have a tinge of yellow to it. Yellowish orange. Okay, I'm going to let this, now I'm going to leave the lid off and it'll just evaporate even more. Finish, you know, hydrating the little specks of fish that are in there and whatnot. All right. Well, I'm working on my bags, and I'll let you know what the count is when I'm all done. But in the meantime, if you like this video, why don't you go ahead and just give me a thumbs up right now while you're thinking about it, and I mentioned it. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, because, well, the more the merrier, right? And share, because sharing is caring. Oh, that was a demonic kind of look, wasn't it? A little crazy. But sharing is caring, and the more you share, maybe the more subscribers and the thumbs up that I will get, and that just makes me feel good. And it's all about me, right? No, I'm kidding. It's so not about me. I just love doing this. I like sharing with you guys, and I feel like I have a little network of friends out there that I'm just sharing my goofy ideas with, and some not so goofy. But it's all a process, right? So I'm excited about this Jarred Up January. However, I'm also doing the Pantry challenge. So I did all my jarring up in December, which I'll be putting those videos up. I'm so far behind on videos, but I'm trying to put this one up sooner rather than later just because it's January 2nd and this is part of my New Year's thing. So I'm going to find some time to sit down and do some videos, editing videos. All right. Well, thank you very much for sticking to the end. I will grab a picture of all the bags I've got when I'm all finished and on to the next project. And this is going to go into the editing software. All right. See you guys later. Remember, thumbs up, subscribe. You really want to subscribe. Remember, subscribe. I wanted to pop back in real quick just to mention something so that, you know, no mistakes are made. Please be sure to reference the internet or your vet about which foods are safe for your dogs or any dogs. So some people feed their dogs garlic. I'm on the fence about garlic. Garlic is supposed to be like a natural flea repellent, and it worked for my dogs for a long time until one got pancreatitis. My vet said it was from the garlic. I don't know if I believe that, but I stopped the garlic and his pancreatitis went away. So, but I also changed up his diet quite a bit. I took a lot of things out. But, and I do always reference with what I add to my dog's food, I always reference on Google. I do some research, or a lot of research, I should say, and I look up to see if it's safe for dogs and in what quantities. So turmeric goes by weight. Now I'm feeding two 75 plus dogs and one probably 22-pound dog. And so 1 heaping teaspoon of turmeric is pretty much what one big dog would get. So they're not even getting the daily amount, and it's being divided up over several days. So I'm not too worried about giving them too much turmeric. Now I am going to also start adding a little sprinkle of nutritional yeast over their food when I feed them. I didn't want to cook it, so and I didn't want to put it in the bag because I haven't actually added it to their diet yet. So I am going to start doing that. I've started adding it to mine slowly because it's kind of an acquired taste, I think. And yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there. Make this your own if you're going to do it. Put stuff in that you know your dog would like. And I apologize for the wobbling, but I'm holding my phone. And double check before you add any ingredients that you're not familiar with, you know, that you have dehydrated and you think would be good. Double check and make sure that they are safe for your dogs, because we don't want anything to happen to our fur babies, right? The idea behind this is to keep them healthy and introduce healthy foods to them. And honestly, if I could afford to feed them nothing but this stuff, that's what I would do. But unfortunately, I can't afford to do that. So it gets mixed with their canned wet food, which they only get like a tablespoon, mixed in with a tablespoon of this. So, you know, and then their blue buffalo kibble. So anyway, all right, that's all I wanted to remind you. Don't forget, you're still here. Thumbs up. Subscribe. I love subscribes. Okay. Bye.